When you play the Game of Thrones, you
Subscribe and like.
or you die. There is no middle ground.
Alright, hello YouTube, and welcome back to the Grease Garbage YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to be talking about why it made so much sense for Tyrion to be the one that was framed at the Purple Wedding. Because there's some things when you first read the Purple Wedding, it's like, why does everyone assume that it's Tyrion? And this really was a perfectly made plan. If you look at it from Littlefinger's point of view, the Tyrell's point of view, it makes complete and utter sense. But before we get into the reasons why I believe Tyrion was framed and why it made the most sense, if you guys like to like, subscribe, and comment, please do. It helps channel grow, reach our people that might like this content as well, and let's get into the video. So let's look at the political reasons why Tyrion being framed made sense. For the most part, if you look at Tyrion, he was very not well liked. If you look at the public opinion of him, it was bad. If you look at his family, the only real person that actually cared about him was Jaime, someone that in the books was not even at the Purple Wedding. And for the most part, he really has no allies, right? For the most part, he really has nobody there that's going to support him if something was to happen. Now, that is key, because if Tyrion is expendable, right? If Tyrion was to be found that he was guilty, who is really going to get upset? That's a big thing for the Tyrells. If you look at a video I talked about with Tywin knowing who did the actual poisoning of Joffrey and who was, innocent, I made the case that Tywin probably knew that Tyrion was innocent, but Tyrion was just expendable, and Tywin didn't really like Tyrion, right? So it made a logical sense, because Tywin didn't want to basically go to war with the Tyrells because he may have known that they were the ones to do it. So when you look at it from that point of view, the Tyrells also pin it on someone that Tywin doesn't really like, and it's almost a favor to Tywin. So let's look at it from that point of view. And then also, let's look at the idea that Tyrion was one of the smarter Lannisters. The Tyrells knew this. So not only are the Tyrells knowing how smart, and this also goes Littlefinger as well, that, hey, Tyrion's probably the second smartest Lannister here. He's probably the second most dangerous one. We can get rid of Tyrion and Joffrey in one stroke. It's a genius plan, really, because in reality, if something was to happen to Tywin, right, Oberyn's in the city, who knows, maybe the Tyrells could have thought about trying to do something in the future, or Littlefinger, then the Lannister power would then go to Cersei, like it ends up happening. Also, this just would probably cause more chaos within the Lannister house as a whole. So from the Tyrells' perspective, this is a perfect maneuver. Let's also look at it from Littlefinger's point of view. So Littlefinger is someone that thrives in the chaos, and this creates a lot of chaos resulting from it. And also, let's look at the idea that Tyrion actually had fooled Littlefinger earlier on in Book 2. So this whole idea comes back that Tyrion, you didn't really make any friends with Littlefinger either. And Littlefinger kind of just throws you under the bus. And if we look at the idea that, I'm not sure what he told Littlefinger. I think it was like Myrcella could marry Robin Arryn, and that was how that was gonna play out. And it was a test or a ruse, basically, to see who wasn't very loyal. It ended up being a Pycelle. And Littlefinger kind of took this as a slight. Now, Tyrion does kind of give him some reward and all that stuff, but Littlefinger is someone that would have remembered that and seen that Tyrion was a good political player and would have wanted him out of any type of power whatsoever. So that also makes sense for Tyrion, because if you think about what his plan is going into Winds of Winter, what he tells Sansa anyway, is that he wants the Lannisters to be destabilized. He doesn't want the Lannisters to be on top either. So this would help destabilize with taking Tyrion out as well. So now let's turn to, okay, would this be believable from a public opinion, right? Yes, the public has seen multiple occasions where Tyrion has shown his disdain for Joffrey, has openly gone against Joffrey, and we even see that it's set up perfectly with Joffrey antagonizing Tyrion, as well as having play thing with the jousting with Penny and all that stuff, and all of her, her brother and stuff. That is something that also is going to put attention onto Tyrion, which then is going to happen when it gets even better, when Joffrey makes Tyrion the wine, basically his cupbearer, right? So that basically paints Tyrion as the easy target here, because no one's going to bat an eye. We know that Cersei's going to probably accuse Tyrion right away. We know Joffrey's going to think that it was Tyrion that did it. So it's a perfectly concocted plan from the outside looking in, because we know the only people that are going to kind of think around this and think that it probably wasn't Tyrion are going to be people that are just smart but don't actually care about Tyrion as a whole. Varys knows it wasn't Tyrion, and Varys is kind of okay with that because he's using Tyrion for his own ends. He doesn't really care about Tyrion. Tywin probably knew that it wasn't Tyrion, but he doesn't care because he would rather Tyrion be out of the city and be out of his hair and go to the wall or something like that. Right? Other characters that weren't even there, Littlefinger, right? Even if he wasn't involved, he would have known this was not Tyrion. So when we look at all these ideas, it's a perfectly concocted plan that is the Purple Wedding to frame Tyrion, get Tyrion out of the way, and it makes sense for every single party except for Jaime, really. But that is the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think on the Purple Wedding plan by the Tyrells and Littlefinger, and why it made so much sense for Tyrion to end up being the person that gets framed for it. Or do you guys think there was a different character that they should have framed? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.
If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.